Today's video is hopefully going to be based on digital rights management and piracy. First, I'd like to start off by saying I have purchased myself, and I've had this for a long while, an iPod Touch. So yeah. Anyway, I use it as my time at the moment. Anyway, what I've been doing is I've been looking into buying music legitimately. I've been doing this for a while. One of my, I have to say, greatest annoyances would have to be, say, there's a particular song or movie I'd like to go out and purchase online, and it's not available. It was available, but now it's not. Or the rootkits or little nasties that are hidden in all kinds of, well, protection. Anyway, one little nasty which a few people might remember is some time ago Sony were producing these audio CDs, and they had little nice little add-on in them. You put them into a PC, it would cause an issue. You put it into a Mac or a DVD player or a CD player, it wouldn't cause any problems. Anyway, what Sony did was they put out what Symantec eventually called a virus and blocked it. Found a way of removing it. What it did was disable their antivirus and their firewall, so if you went out and purchased legitimate music and you put it into your computer to listen to, that's the wrong thing to do. Well, actually it was a real stupid thing to do since your antivirus and firewall were knocked out. You can't love Sony. Oh, I remember a long time ago they were complaining about how there was people copying music, blah blah blah, burning CDs illegally, and they were the ones producing and selling the most CD burns. You gotta love Sony, and I am using a Sony camera for this. See the irony? Anyway, one of the greatest issues there are is what people fully need to understand, which they don't. There's always licensing. Now this can always cause a lot of issues. One of the licensing issues I've seen is that something might only be available for, say, I don't know, a year or 12 months or 6 months, and then it's not available again. And if you rent it, well, then you lose it. But if you buy it outright, well, then you may keep it, but then there might be a little something in there to just wait for a signal to say, well, delete, and go on. But then again, that's just my own paranoia. Okay, what happened with me? Well, when I signed up with Bigpond, which was a real big mistake, yeah, what I did was I decided to give everything a try. And they had these supposed unmetered bandwidth sites. Anyway, I soon discovered that unmetered bandwidth was actually counted towards your downloads until the end of the month, in which they'd give you the last, 12 hours to use whatever you downloaded, which was free, which didn't make much sense, because I'd run out of bandwidth very quickly, and then bandwidth would go back up for the last 12 hours of the day. Say, I don't know, I downloaded 3 gigs off Bigpond sites, 3 gigs would be available the last 12 hours of the month, and that really annoyed me. So I got out of that. Anyway, I signed up, and there was a movie called Roger, which was about a giant crocodile, blah blah blah. Anyway, I go through about a process of, 1-2 weeks trying to get a voucher in so I get the movie. This voucher said, free $5, $10 for movies. So I thought, yeah, great, blah blah blah. And I'm sitting there going, finally, I get the movie. A few weeks later, and I go, click, click. Wait a minute. The funny thing is, the movie had been removed. It was no longer available. Bigpond weren't able to tell me why, or how, or anything. So I basically lost out on getting that. Then there was a second one I wanted to watch, which I found out. It was rated M, and it was about 2 guys who owned a video shop, and all the tapes were erased for some unknown reason. I haven't seen the movie yet, but yeah. Anyway, I try to get it, and it says I'm denied. I have enough credit in there. Turns out, because it's rated M, I needed to be age verified. I had a Bigpond and also have a landline account with Telstra, which will be changing soon. But I don't have my Bigpond anymore, and they finally sent me a check. But the interesting part is that you had to give this the online Bigpond your credit card for proof of age. What happens when a, say, 12-year-old has a credit card and they say, oh yes, I'm over 18, and they give the credit card details to Bigpond and say, oh yes, well okay, you're age verified, and then allow them to go download a porno. You see the negative side in that, which drove me completely ballistic. I was not going to give them my Visa debit card information. I didn't want that to be put in with my account at all, for security reasons, but they basically, well, I decided after that no. And one of the biggest issues is that you'll have the music industry and the entire entertainment industry are under the idea that you can have something when you want it. Let's take iTunes for instance. I do buy a fair bit of music for my iPod off iTunes. But, this is the biggest big but, you'll get those audios, you get those CDs which have, say, various artists, all sorts of artists like Hit Machine, that sort of thing. And their full album will probably contain maybe half or a quarter of all the songs that are on the one you can go out and buy in the shops. Which doesn't really make much sense. They say you can buy the full album, a quarter of it, at a discounted price than what you go buy in the shops. What the entertainment industry needs to understand, including music, is that if you're going to make something, make a full version of it available on the internet, as well as a full version available in the shops. Otherwise, you're just ripping off your customers. I mean, come on, you want to make the money. I was trying to get a song from my iPod off the Spider-Man soundtrack. It wasn't available online, and you couldn't buy the CD anymore. And I didn't want to go trudging through all sorts of second-hand shops to find it, or eBay. Anyway, I eventually found it, but couldn't find it under the title of Spider-Man, so it really drove me insane. The thing is that what the entertainment industry don't realise is that the more difficult they make it, the way it is now, it's really difficult, when you try to get a specific song that you like, to buy it legitimately, sometimes they're difficult to find, or you can't find them, or they're not available, which can drive people insane. When you get someone with low ethics and a bit of intelligence, they'll say, well, I want the song, you're not going to stop me. At which point, getting online is a lot easier. Using piracy to acquire music is remarkably simple. There are some issues you might have with malicious software, but there's always ways around that, such as Linux, but then again there's viruses for Linux, but you get the idea. If the music industry and the entire entertainment industry want to slow down piracy or prevent it, or any of that sort of thing, one thing they've got to realise is that by limiting people to something, say, I don't know, Bigpond can only have this movie for 6 months and then that's it, they're not allowed to sell it. Doing that is just going to enable piracy. That's what a lot of people don't understand. People in the music industry don't get completely. This is the funny part. You need to give your customers, everyone, us cows, access to what you have indefinitely. Best part about getting something online is you only have to worry about the bandwidth. You don't have to worry about packaging it and sending it out and then it becoming faulty and having to go anyway. Download's a lot simpler. And what I wish is that they would sort of utilise that technology just a little bit more. Anyway, I'm running out of time here, unfortunately, but the whole point of this is that the music industry need to be more lenient and more open with what they sell online, as well as what they sell in the shops. The more people the more things that they're limited or not allowed to access, the more they're just going to go pirate it. Well, majority of people. There are very few percentage that would say, I'm not going to pirate it, blah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up and make another video about something else later on to help with my stress. And also, hopefully, fix my depression. Bye.